That's true. Isn't it? Just a yes or no answer.
Ani sabi lo series ni tawata haladum hebbina ha boxita mi andi nawadi be me dumani ni anke en
I just need a yes or no answer. Was it a series of people? Several people? Yes or no?
I can say yes or no, but
Mr. Witness, answer the question. You cannot be saying
yes. Now he has said yes. He has said yes now. He said yes.
Just please give us the answers that we need, instead of going on a tangent to explain and explain and explain. Just answer the question asked.
Whatever you say, I will.
Luckily, this is not the typical NIA interview. It's not followed by slaps and kicks. But nonetheless, answer the questions asked. You agree that this is not the typical interview?
Psychologically, you have psychological torture.
Well, here you will not be beaten, but also the way things are going can also be another psychological problem. I'm not saying that's what we are doing. But how I am thinking, maybe it will not be that way.
I'm sorry.
I have told you that I just pull the teeth out, or rather the tooth out. If you cooperate, it comes off easily. If you resist, well, it becomes difficult and somewhat painful. But the truth must come
out. I understand what you're saying, but if you are removing a tooth, you have to inject the person before removing that tooth.
That's why we warn you in advance.
Thank you.
That's why we warn you in advance. And you have been warned about.
He said he has agreed to whatever you say, Council. He said now let's make progress.
He said Dula Goto.
Dula Goto.
Dula Goto. That means let's go forward.
To something else.
Let's go
to another question.
To another question. Thank you. But I will still stick with these tortures. You told the commission that those were not the 7 people we mentioned were not the only people you tortured.
There are some among them whom I have accepted that I tortured them, but there are others that I said no, I didn't torture them.
Who did you say you did not torture?
I said that about Jibril Waka.
Jibril Waka even accused you of gender-based violence.
Jibril Waka kan kusa otumirima tumewana na wanda gender-based violence.
He said you stripped him naked, you beat him, and then you forced him to play with his genitals.
Yesterday, after you mentioned this, I said, no, that's not true. And I'm still...
Are you embarrassed by the sexual nature of the allegation? Of the type of torture you are accused of?
Are you embarrassed?
Because two me gol he tawtara gol wana gotum so mi tawtara ka te ngona dum gonga.
It's not part of that. I am ashamed of it. No, but what he has alleged against me is not true.
Waka was arrested and taken to the NIA. Isn't that true?
Jibril Waka onanga noma onabaka NIA ka hogomundo ndakdo wona gonga.
Hangisa miwadum find out when I in the woniri neto bondo mungantama humori gini wagori connection humuja.
Just answer the question. This is a yes or no.
Yesterday I was able to get information to know how he was arrested. This is what I want to make clear here.
No, the question.
If you don't allow me to do that, it's no problem. We can proceed as you wish.
The question is, was he arrested?
Yes.
And taken?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Did you come into contact with him?
No.
No.
Sorry for not waiting for the interpreter.
I'm sorry for not waiting for the interpreter, but no. No.
Did you hand him over to Sukuta Jame?
No.
You see?
No.
You see, Mr. Witness.
This is why I want to explain, and you don't want me to explain.
Just hear me out. You would have your chance.
Okay. If I had explained, you wouldn't have to ask that question.
Just
maybe. Sorry.
This is not the NIA interview.
Sorry.
No, it's not the NIA interview. This is the TRRC interview.
This is very easy, isn't it? You can laugh and smile. Yes, you can drink water. You can have tea. Huh?
No, definitely. No, I respect Kalamu.
Yes, sorry for that. But I have respect for everybody who is sitting here.
It's normal.
Can you tell us? Did you have anything to do with Jibril Waka's arrest?
Jibril Waka ko nangugol makungol jungomano hen.
Wom ko wadi takifere hadumari. Indirectly.
Something happened which caused his arrest. Indirectly. I can say I'm involved indirectly.
And how are you indirectly involved?
Letawa Jibril Waka waktu Hombo when he had a body bande. Nawada reconnect Gimbe, Sibe Tajama or Jepta Fuse or whatever reconnect. Bumbo Jogi Fuse Johorama, take a Fuse in Narek.
Okay, Jibril Waka is somebody who used to go around and he has his own fuses which belong to Nawek. But if somebody is disconnected, he will come and reconnect those people using the type of fuse he has, and those fuses belong to Nawek. This is the type of job he was doing. That's one.
Mr. Witness. We are not here.
No, I just fired these things and then made it into a formal report. And that report went to the headquarters. It resulted into an action which I was not even aware. That's what led to his arrest.
Okay.
So I need to explain that for people to know.
I'm sorry. Can you calm down?
No,
this is the 5th time you are apologizing.
Yes,
could you?
Because Comido itu when you go in there and put Nandum. Konona move to go guy hunde. It's called Tanta Kimidoni Halera.
The reason why I'm talking like this, I want to lay bare everything that I know about this topic. This is why I'm speaking like this. I want to reveal everything.
No, Mr. Witness, you're speaking like this because you are only interested in placating other people for doing wrong and portraying yourself as the person who would do right. No. That is what you're doing. You are so quick to say, oh, this one is a bandit, this one is Sasai. You want to portray everybody else in bad light except yourself. That's what you're trying to do.
When I know mean me to holira ko wadiko. So ko wadiko me to Andi. By the community to Andy. So ko wadiko mi halta. When I know Kalitani.
No, I know what happened. This is what I want to reveal. But the way how you are portraying it is not the way how things happen.
Mr. Witness, yes, in Nawek there were a lot of corrupt people. You agree with that?
Yes.
both NAWEC staff members were corrupt. Equally, the NIA officers who were there were also corrupt. And we don't want to get into that because that is not our mandate. And if don't challenge me, don't push me to that corner to show that the NIA officers who were there were also corrupt. And don't push us there. And we don't want to go there. We are not investigating corrupt practices at NAWEC. But if you challenge us, if you push us there, we would show that the NIA officers who were there were equally corrupt. So don't test us, don't push us there. Let's focus on the main issue before the commission. That is the human rights violation. No matter what wrong the person has committed, the person has rights. You are here, you have accepted that you have committed some crime. Nobody has taken you to the corner to beat you. Because you have rights. Equally, those victims of yours, no matter what they did, they have rights. And they deserve to be treated according to law. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Just cut the too much talk and answer the question.
That's what I'm confirming. Yes, yes, I agree. What I'm just saying is that everybody has a right.
No matter what.
When you arrested, when Farmer Naso was arrested from his house at Latirkunda Sabiji, and brought to you at NAWEC in cooperative. You did not give him his rights, did you? You subjected him to monkey dance until he collapsed. That was unlawful. You agree?
Mi jabi o wadama ton de kono wadani collapse no bidani ha o dumanini o horti o leli.
I agree that something happened to him there, but he didn't collapse.
Yes, but did you have a right to monkey dance him?
No.
But you did it.
Yes, that's what I said, yes.
You tortured him.
Yes.
You knew he had rights.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
You chose to just ignore those rights.
Yes, that's true.
And you treated him in whatever manner you wanted.
Yes.
And there is also Ibu John. Ibukan, rather.
Ibukan, go ahead.
Yes, Ibukan.
You tortured him.
No, that's not true.
Maybe you want to hear Ibukan himself say how you tortured him.
I'm here, I can say what happened.
Yes, tell us what happened.
Now I know Liboton office amen on ko dumani hono wite mo jogino fake coupons.
There was somebody working at our office who had fake coupons.
What's the name of the person?
Pasanyang.
Pasanyang.
Okay, just a moment. So Pasanyang was dealing fraudulently with fake coupons. Okay, proceed.
At that time, Muniru was the Director General.
Johnny didn't fake couponaji. I had Omindaton 1,000. So Nabito petrol station to take on when you don't.
Okay, just a moment.
And those fake coupons, sometimes he will write $1,000 and on those coupons, and they'll take it to the petrol station.
Proceed.
So Nabidum don Bembatatum Kalis Pepecha Mabedidobe.
And when he goes to the petrol station, they'll give him cash, and the two of them will share that money. Sometimes he will take it in the form of fuel, which he will put in his vehicle.
National food security, something like that.
If I can remember, something like national food, something was written on those coupons.
Then Munir investigate. Then
Munir said it should be investigated.
So Pasanyang no dimbo o ariton because humban yo other horamako no vitabum ibu.
And they said they called Pasanyang to come, and he knew the other guy called Ibu.
Then Ibu couldn't want you come that come mean couldn't do me and the hand.
This is what I know about it, and at the time when they came.
Mr. Cham.
Yes, Mr. Cham.
You see,
Aye.
You are sugarcoating it. It's not like that.
Ibukan.
He caught Pasanyang with these fake coupons, and he reported it. The NIA did not know. There had to be a whistleblower. It was who reported the matter to the NIA. He caught Pasanyang and took it to the NIA. That is what happened.
No,
what I knew about it is different from that.
The NIA intended to protect Pasanyang, so they went after Ibu. Pasanyang, do you agree that Pasanyang committed a crime? Do you agree with that? What should have been the punishment for Pasanyang for committing that fraud against the state? What should have been the punishment?
Punishment no nawai wando dum nawai takfere o wasa plasma ko.
It can be that he will be dismissed from his place.
No, it's not. It can be. It's not. It can be. The rules are that if you commit a fraud against the state, you should be prosecuted and punished by either fine or imprisonment or both. That is the law, and you know it. Is that not true?
Decide.
But that decision doesn't lie with me.
Could you just answer the question? I did not ask.
I said yes, but I don't have that decision.
Mr. Cham,
I said yes.
Could you just answer the question and refrain from going on to other things that you have not been asked? I did not ask you whether you had responsibility for deciding that. So answer the questions and just be disciplined. Answer my questions when it requires a yes or no answer. Answer yes or no. Otherwise, we would spend the whole day here and we would not make progress.
You allow me to also to talk, counsel.
Mr. Cham.
Sometimes there is need when I say yes, at least to put a word or so. Yes. Or when I say no, at least also I have that right, I think, Chairman.
Mr. Cham.
Before he.
Mr. Cham, if you need to explain something, tell me that you need to explain something.
Okay.
And I would yield the floor.
Now we'll go by that.
All right. Okay. You agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
You agree with me that the rules required that Mr. Sanyang be investigated
Mr. Sanyang be nangamo be ligintina fima ko
and brought to book.
And no.
Yes.
You agree with me that the evidence was overwhelming that this guy was defrauding the state?
Jabi wendama Mr. Sanyang jo hari himo wadu de tapale don ko do le lam ngumo no hibbude hore tapale makko.
Yes.
You agree with me that that overwhelming evidence required that he'd be taken to justice?
Ajabi wendama ningal sede gal yaltungal sengo makongal dum ko holliri ko du woni yo nabe yeso luwa.
That's true. Where is Mr. Bojang today?
Mr. Bojang hande.
Mr. Bojang.
Pa Bojang, where is he today?
Pa Bojang.
Who is Pa Bojang?
Pa Sanyang, sorry.
Pa Sanyang.
Pa Sanyang and the Oriwa Noma.
Pa Sanyang, as I know, he was dismissed.
But me forgive me joining Humble Police.
If I can remember properly, he is now working with the police. And before he came to our office, he was working at the immigration department.
Where is Pa Sanyang today? Where does he work?
Then we went into Andu in 2019, December.
In December 2019, as I can remember,
police.
He was a policeman.
Police station over there.
In fact, he was posted at the Kuntaur police station.
In fact, he is now a senior police officer.
If I can remember properly, his rank, the time I can remember, he was an inspector.
Do you think that that is right under the laws of this country?
That's not correct.
And it happened because Pa Sanyang was protected. Is that not the case? Is that not the case? Yes or no?
We want to join Humble Police.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That's up to now. He is a police, but
the question is, this could only have happened because Pa Sanyang was protected.
He is being a police officer now, and the rank of inspector can only have happened because he is protected. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
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 Precisely. Just hear me out.
Okay, can you allow me here to explain?
Yes, go ahead.
So na dum den sitaino joni irewa noma lawol like hay sitaino dum don takino fere ha o riwa temi fogi he on isu takano fere ha o riwa simi yejitani den sitay o riwa ma dum hade mako okke golle dula goddo taw na fonno chege because high immigration hade office amen jeptumbo na fonno chege ko takki fere ha immigration.
Well, what happened? Okay,
background information of the individual.
What happened was, even when he was working at the immigration before he came to our office, before he was employed at our office, he should have been investigated. Then after his employment with us, after this incident happened, when he was dismissed, and when the police were taking him, they should also have investigated him. But that didn't happen. That's what I wanted to say.
Background information.
That's what should have happened.
When people
checked on his background before appointing him.
When people apply to go to the police, don't they, as a matter of routine, go to the NIA for background checks?
Gambia Armed Forces ontuma dum wono wadde because kono non after dum don mi andana ko dum don na kono nanon fonno wondirde kono fonno wondirde.
If I can remember,
security service normally la foti chege.
As I can remember, it was the Gambia National Army, but
Gambia Armed Forces.
Gambia Armed Forces. But apart from that, the thing that should have happened was, before employing anybody, his background information should have been checked.
You see, Mr. Cham, the system was the NIA protected its personnel No, brutalized others.
No afero walor no no. Ena yeben ligodo e mabbe be danda e nobe. Be jetta wobbe be naata be
And you are the,
let
me. You have to listen to the question.
Maybe jentida landongol taw.
You are the person selected
An woni wajon jetta don.
To come and deal with Ibukan, and you brutalized him.
Pour yaha ara topida affaire Ibukan te wadudama ko musi kadi.
That is not true.
Well, you were based in Nawek, weren't you?
I won't know Nawek. Ndawana
on time.
Yes, at that time.
Yes. What were you doing?
When Munir was DG, I was not at the Nawek.
Where were you based?
Either at the post office or at Numanin. I cannot remember exactly.
At the post office. If you were at post office, what were you doing at headquarters?
Or whether I was in Numanin on the economic. I cannot remember the exact Numanin.
Maybe I was. It could be that I was at the economic. I can remember this one. It was in the evening.
So you can remember this incident?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And then what happened?
When
it was in the evening.
When they came,
Pasanyang
and Ibu.
Until the following day.
Both of them were detained until the following day.
And were you the investigating officer? Answer the question. Answer the question. Were you the investigating officer? Yes or no? Answer the question.
No, I'm saying yes, but can I come in
just
here?
Leave it there.
Yes, can I come in here?
Yes, yes.
Just tell me
my role.
I will ask what your role is.
No, but you have
to exercise discipline in this process. And allow me to do my work. You understand? Fortunately, there are no slaps and kicks here. But nonetheless, respect the process and answer my question. Were you in charge of that investigation? Were you in charge of that investigation?
No, when I mean.
No, it was not me.
Who was in charge of that investigation?
It was Munir himself.
But Muniru was Director General.
Muniru was no director.
Yes.
So you want to tell me that it was the Director General who conducted the investigation? That is what you want to tell us?
He was the person who directed.
Okay. But who was actually in charge of the investigation?
I was among those who did the investigation at the starting.
Did you lead the investigations at the starting?
Yes, at the beginning.
Exactly.
First day.
Yes. But you seem not to have had any recollection of this incident at all. At first, you pretended you did not know about it.
Yes, I said that because I mentioned the coupons.
But you suggested that you were not involved in this at all. Do you recall just telling the commissioners that you were in fact not there at the time? You were at
my postings, because my posting
what I knew about your question was that I was posted. That's why I said I was posted at the post office. I cannot remember exactly where I was posted, in fact, but I can remember the incident. And what I can remember, I can say that.
Okay.
But what I cannot remember, I will not be able to say that.
You see, you have to listen. Instead of coming out charging and arguing, it's not necessary.
I'm sorry if that's the way you see it, that we are arguing. I'm sorry about
that. The problem is you being too talkative instead of just focusing on answering the questions asked. Okay. Just answer the questions asked.
Okay, that's good.
When Ibu was brought to the NIA, where were you?
When he came, I was there.
Did you come into contact with him?
Yes.
Did you take him to his cell?
No.
Who took him to the cell?
If he was put in a cell, it must have been done by the security.
You telling me if he was put in a cell? It must have been. So you're just speculating about what has happened. We don't need that speculation. You are there and you are responsible for the investigation. Tell us what happened.
What happened, that's what I'm saying. When they came initially, that time, Pasanyang was there and I said he should be giving his statement.
We are talking about Ibu.
I'm coming with Ibu. Then
and just the same time that Ibu also came. When Ibu came,
at that
time Munir himself was there. In fact, he was at the door. Then he himself, I said to him, that's Ibu. And in his presence, I handed them over to the security. Himself and Pasanyang.
And you are skipping, deliberately skipping things that have happened. You're avoiding something, aren't you?
No, that's not
you
the case.
Are avoiding the beatings. As soon as he arrived, you attacked him with a stick and you were beating him. If that's what has happened, I would have owned up to it. But no, that's not true. I didn't beat him. Mr. Cham, you are not the only NIA officer.
Mr. Cham, you
know that. You have over 500 staff. And this particular person knew a lot of the NIA officers. Isn't that the case? Yes, that could be. And you had no problems with him, did you?
Yes,
we never had a problem.
Why would this guy select you out of 500 plus people? To say that you tortured him. Munir was there. He was your boss. He did not accuse Munir. Other people were there. He did not accuse them. He accused you. Yes, I will just say that it's false. There is no truth in it.
It's hatred.
It's just hatred.
Because you're too handsome? So he hates you?
Well, you said that.
I don't want to use the words Ibukan used in his statement.
Ibukan konguli de o hali dum ka ko winda no hala mako kan konguli de o hali ni mi fala ka rewtade e majji.
To put it mildly, he said, Omar Cham beat me mercilessly. And he told me, you would know that when you come here, me, Omar Cham, we will beat you. That's what happened.
That's not true.
You would not admit it because your victims are already way too many.
If it is not true, there is no way that I can accept it. It is not true, so I will not agree to that. Because it is not true. I will not accept that.
You tortured too many people. That's true, isn't it?
Yes, I did it to some people.
To a lot of people.
Yes, I did it to people.
I am saying to a lot of people. To a series of people.
Yes, as far as they've gone up to 7 people.
We are now at 9.
This is what they say. That's their version, not mine.
The fact is, Mr. Witness, you are a serial torturer. That is the truth.
No, that's not true.
So if you torture a series of people over time, which you did, isn't it? You tortured a series of people over time.
And the Kalako Wadi Yasami accept Kadi because by the coming one coming half it on.
Just whatever happened in my presence, as far as I am their head, I will accept it.
Mr. Witness,
say down.
Just answer the question.
Rambling.
Just answer the question.
I'm answering your questions. You said I tortured people and I said yes.
In a series of tortures. Yes or no?
Yes, there are people I tortured, yes.
That makes you a serial torturer.
Yes, if that's the way you see it, yes, okay.
No, this what it is seen. Not he seeing it that way.
In fact,
if that's the way
it is
seen, yeah, okay.
Well, that's the way it is. It was, for that matter. That is the way it was. You are a serial torturer.
I agree that I did it to some people.
Yes.
And in fact, all these high-profile cases that came to you, including Silaba Samate and others, they were tortured.
I say, as for them, no, things that I didn't do, I will not accept that. I will not agree to that. And I am saying this, and Allah is hearing me.
Consistent on that.
Yes.
You also tortured Esa Baji Jesus in the same manner in which you did.
kalambo na yo nyago dum pebe wa pour Allah wada dum te ya Allah yo Allah wadum ore wala
praying to Allah now. Okay, Johnny,
Allah mi donum dari.
Yes, Fad, I'm praying to Allah to decide between me and those people who accused me falsely. I'm praying to Allah for Allah to judge between me and them.
May God help us all.
Yeah, Allah very much. Amen.
May God help us all.
You are all doing for.
And okay, now that you are invoking Allah,
yes,
who else did you torture at the NIA? Between you and Allah. Who else did you torture at the NIA? Tell us.
I cannot remember.
Because they are. Because they
apart from those I mentioned.
Because they are too many. You only accept them. Mr. Witness. Just answer the question. You see, whenever I touch a nerve, you just
yes,
you explode.
The reason for that is
the question is, who else did you torture at the NIA?
I cannot remember them.
Because there are too many.
No, I will not agree to that.
Gazi and his group?
Gazi
You
I have told you what happened about that.
You tortured them?
They were tortured.
You participated in their
I was there, then I have to be part of it.
Yes.
Yes,
we made sure they are handcuffed because when they have drug or he are burnt up.
Mr. Witness, you see, this is the first.
Is true.
Listen.
I'm not denying it.
Yes, but now is the first time you have ever admitted it.
No, I told you this. I told you this.
Never.
No, I told you this, Council.
When? It's not even in my notes.
It is there.
I just decided to go back onto that. You never mentioned it at all.
But maybe maybe you didn't hear when I told you. But now, as far as I have admitted now, then take that.
Because they have heavy message or when they were Johnny drug or Yama Bonto. So Johnny me put it now. So don't know Johnny me put it with a handcuff. You know we behind. So during that, you know, couple and soup. So everybody makes on their handcuffs. So don't know pirim param body don't go.
Okay, Johnny Fat. When we got the information that there is drugs have been found at Bonto, that's the time we decided to cuff them and go along with them.
Okay, can you define pirim param for us?
And what he was saying was that when we were about to cuff them, there ensued a scuffle. That's what he means by pirim param.
No. No. He said something scuffle, and there was pirim param. Yes. So tell us, what is this pirim param?
Pirim param 50.
When they have mean kebi call when they know drug or John or Yama Bonto, terminum put yadu hemabe.
When we had this call that drugs have been found at Bonto and we were supposed to do there.
Answer Johnny,
the question is, what do you mean by pirim param?
Allow me hala. Kono go didi an ajabata mi hala.
Mr. Witness.
You put it at mi hala. You may be ngana because you may nanjidi anu kuwadi. Chairman, sometimes I think you have to come in here, Chairman.
Because people want to know what happened, so this is why I want to explain.
Bishop wants to know what is pirim param.
No, pirim param. When I am in there, I'm in John Midam put the foot in cell, in Marabe handcuff. Mape ko mape John, because min be no wonder why they have bond to drug or Yama.
Johnny Fad, I informed that. My friend, you don't want this to be translated.
Mr. Witness, is it not true that the pirim param is in fact the beating?
Yes.
So you avoided it by calling it pirim param.
What he said was that when we told them that we are going to take them to Bonto, we started taking them out of the cells and cuffing their hands. Yes. That's the time when this scuffle ensued.
And that's the time the pirim param started. And that is when you beat them.
We started that. And we ensured they are handcuffed. And they
were pressed tightly.
They were handcuffed. I mean, when I'm handcuffed, whether it was pressed tightly,
I know they were cuffed. Whether the handcuffs were tight or not, I didn't put the cuffs on their hands. They were handcuffed, whether they were tight or not, I don't know. But after the cuffing, we went with them.
And Mr. Witness, you tortured them because you have just been informed that drugs were discovered in these people's premises.
On la puno be ma on wadno be ko musi sabuna on gebe family on wonde ma kapala ma be woni bonto drok on yamaton on la puno.
Isn't that the case?
Lawana no walore
alani wobe nanon nanon way wonir
ko maybe that way
nanon way wonir
it could be but wait let me come.
Yes. Because I the assumption.
Because you don't like the word assumption.
I understand.
Why I want to go further is I want you to understand. This is why I want to go further.
Okay, just answer the questions.
Yeah, but on landing.
They were beaten because it was discovered that they had a cache of drugs.
Yes, that's part of it. That happened, yes.
Yes. All right. You and your colleagues were incensed by what you heard, that these guys had a cache of drugs.
Yes, that is part of it. That happened.
Yes. And that is why he was beaten. They were beaten mercilessly.
Yes, that was part of it.
Yet Silaba Samata is there. He claimed he was doing it for the president. And nothing happened to him.
Because
we got all we wanted from him. That's why.
Mr. Witness, the NIA would even beat you before you utter a word.
No, that's not me. I don't.
You only beat afterwards. You don't beat before. You beat before or after?
It depends on what he did.
What happened?
Or it depends on what happened.
So in drug cases, the moment the allegation comes out, you start beating.
Illegal
connections, you also beat.
No, as for me, that's not the way.
Okay, but the Bonto guys?
The Bonto guy, ko onyan nyani diwa tedumta dumboisa, but ben hay darab en jabani hal.
And those people refuse to talk.
So you beat them.
Minene ko ame midengandi do odon drug num wawa do ar hendi do lady tawata yimbe do tigi mbokani hen dum ko wadi ko do dum ba dum do adu ta Gambians at the top level be ngantama be tawaka hen dum kay minene ko ame minen fo miden dum gandi.
We knew that amount of drugs cannot be brought into the country without the involvement of some top-ranking officials.
Yes,
like
prominent people.
Like
why you're humble? Why you're humble?
Yeah, I said top officials. That can mean
you have somebody in mind.
Isn't
that the case?
This what I can say, top officials. Council. Sometimes
council, sometimes you try to push me to a corner.
You
know what has happened.
I was not here.
No.
Absolutely.
I know you were not here. You know, like, even...
Mr. Witness, you have somebody in mind when you said that. Who do you have in mind?
If in on time, had a time, but had a mudum and a tigi.
When this thing happened, before in fact everything was revealed,
Jesus Horomako asked IG, I no time, but we are no one you need to red blocks along the road.
Jesus himself as IG.
Pare dum don fo godum dum nama oka chobange te pare kadi ya jame Horomako helbe na tumi wonde wa mako Horomako mboen andi hunde.
And apart from Yaya Jammeh himself, a lot of people were saying that he knew something about those laws.
So Mr. Witness, service chiefs, you know, have put a clue. And
the service chiefs themselves could have a clue because they suspected they could have a clue.
Is that the reason why the drug disappeared?
If I say the drug has disappeared, well, that is not very clear to me, but that's the suspicion that it disappeared.
Why?
The reason why I say that,
usually it's drug destruction sinawada.
Usually, if drug is going to be destroyed, it will be publicized and it will be shown where it has been destroyed. And that amount of drug, if it is going to be destroyed,
press also interest after is in fact
the press will be invited and the government will publicize the information to tell people that so and so amount of drug is going to be destroyed so that people will be aware.
You're telling us that did not happen?
As for me, that's how I knew it.
Bunsane and Co, were they tortured? When we were looking for them and when we were with them, they were not tortured.
Now when we are looking for them, when we are investigating them, they mean that
looking for somebody.
You know, sometimes
don't argue with the interpreter.
No,
if you're not satisfied,
yes,
just say what you want to say.
I'm sorry.
The interpreter is just helping the commission.
Yes. And sometimes what I have discovered is he made the direct call from flag to English. Yes. And sometimes it makes difference.
Yes, you know what you want to say. If it is not conveyed to your satisfaction, just tell us what you want to say. Don't quarrel with the interpreter.
I'm sorry if it is a
yes.
You
are today in your quarreling gap. You quarreling with the interpreter, you quarreling with me.
The interpreter, I know I will apologize to him. But since yesterday, it seems that I'm upsetting him. Yesterday I was praying when he was going, but I would have apologized to him. And I will do that in due course. What I want to say is when we were investigating, doing our interaction with them, because they were also already dismissed and then detained. So when we come to investigate them, during that course, our interaction with them, there was no torture meted on them.
Where they
during that course. Then subsequently after, that one, I cannot say they were not tortured. You understand?
It means therefore you can say that they were tortured.
The chances are very high, yes, that they will be tortured.
It's not just chances. It's not just chances, Mr. Witness. They were actually tortured.
Yeah. And if that is, I will take it.
No, you accept they were tortured.
It is very high.
I know that
Mr. Witness,
chances are high that they might be tortured.
You just told us they were tortured.
What they got on detention for more than 72 hours in itself.
Well, I said that even to detain somebody for more than 72 hours is also torture.
Violation.
Mr. Witness, we're not talking about unlawful detention. Just answer my question. You know that Bunsane and Co were tortured at the NIA premises.
If you say I know, I will tell you no. I do not know. But I strongly believe it is a possibility.
It was an actuality.
No, I won.
It could be.
Did you see them limping?
No, I didn't see them.
Did you see injuries on them?
No.
Did you see swollen faces?
No.
Did you see anything on them to suggest they were tortured?
In
fact,
I didn't. That's not clear.
See,
but the time when I was there, that didn't happen.
We were interacting with them.
Yet you are bold enough to say that in all likelihood they were tortured. You definitely know something, which is the reason why you said that. Because everything that you show negatives torture. Yet you are bold enough to say that in all likelihood they were tortured. That assertion can't be baseless. What were you thinking?
Investigate on cause. Hamin company kulema min kebdane ma be affaire ko don bian mi ontuma mi ndara ni dum don kombita ko bom sako hamido anda ndako na wodi ndako wodan.
What I said is that when we were interacting with them, when we were together with them, no torture took place until we did our investigation, until when we were ready with them. Then after we left them, that's what I mean, after we were not with them, maybe something could have happened in our absence.
And I did not also have the see or try to find out whether they are limping, whether they have injuries, swollen face, or what. I don't do that.
The reason why what you say is not believable is because you said in all likelihood they were tortured. What is your basis?
What I said is my basis.
So you have no basis?
Oh, you know, I said, that's what I know.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Clearly, you have committed offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, many of them.
And they actually many of them.
You see, you come back to the same thing, many of them.
Answer my question.
Yes.
You have committed many offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
If you are not granted amnesty, you will be prosecuted.
Yes, I know that.
Are you guilty of those offenses?
Yes, I said that, and I even said that I am apologizing, and I said at the end of everything also, I will apologize.
Yes.
And do you realize that if you continue to speak untruth, you would not qualify for amnesty.
Nda hida fami wonda masita iwani kontini yarugol ni ala halde gongo hida salotang hino wawi shaisi atorike puru yafuwe no wawi hebata en yafuwe.
Dumna kamla ipos?
Yes, that's very clear to me.
Good. So I just flag that so that you have that at the back of your mind. Yesterday,
yes, that's in my mind from here to the next world.
Okay. Yesterday you told the commission that you did not say that you did not see Silaba's son. You did not hold Silaba's son to take him upstairs. You
What I said was that Silaba's child, but I didn't mention the word son.
Okay, let's play the video. And then we see what you have said.
Ben video jento den ko halda ko hanki.
That's good.
Okay, we know that.
Mike.
Thank you. As that is being done, perhaps we could just proceed onto other things.
No problem.
And then we would come back to this. So, we would take statements from Bunsane and Co. And I ask you again, were they tortured? And the commissioners are listening intently. They would be the people to decide your amnesty application if you apply. Bunsane and Co, were they tortured?
Time we arrested them and we are investigating them.
We not arrested them.
Okay.
They were arrested already.
Time they were arrested and we were investigating them.
They mean having been the Congolese map ready.
And we write their statements.
Nothing
was done to them. I was not aware of anything that was done to them.
After
that,
I'm saying that.
Nawari Bembalamado.
something has happened to them. That's what I said.
What happened to them?
What I mean is that if it's said that they were beaten, I am saying that that's a possibility. Yes.
We are not talking about, we are not talking about possibilities. Were they tortured?
Ani mimi jai ma mima wande ma minen demin jepta duma mi tabe investigate ha min company ko said me jeptu go said ma be lipaka.
Well, when
no that no dum don yawti ndako be lipama ndako be lipaka mi wata wi de be lipaka pour mi gomdina wi go wonde ma dega be do be lipama pour andi godum non fama dum non kono non dum way wonde.
When we were taking statements, we don't beat them and they were not beaten. But after statement taking, when we were not with them, that's what I mean by that something could have happened to them. But when we were taking their statements, we didn't do anything to them.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to this. I think...
Yesterday I said that. I just said a child. I didn't say a son or
okay, Mr. Cham.
So that Mr. Cham, I find it difficult to find. So that time is not
Mr. Cham.
Mr.
Okay, Cham.
It's okay. Let us have a look at it.
Just leave it.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Don't be too argumentative.
No, I need to do my yaft no matter. Kadimbia, one day my middle yaft no time middle yaft. No me yaft no tomorrow.
Yes, I'm sorry about this.
The Lang Tombong crew. Did you participate in that panel? Yes.
The coup that he was accused of, no, I was not part of that.
You did not participate in that investigation?
No, I was not part of the investigation.
We have heard, did you come to know whether they were tortured or they were not tortured?
I know that it was said that they were tortured. Yes. In those days, the news came out in our office that they were tortured.
And do you believe that that information is true? And we have received information that babies were brought to the NIA. For human sacrifice?
That I am not aware of it, and I've never even heard of it between me and Allah.
How about poisoning of people?
I know that someone called Bambamane
what if office ameno and the 2006 Nuk Cham Kurzao.
He was one of the first people, even among the first people to be aware of that information.
Can you tell us what is the information?
Mako wano gagdo vi wande no ma soldar hebe pariwa de kudata.
He's the person who came and gave us the information that soldiers wanted to carry out a coup.
Min komi andi office ameno ko heturu bamba min gandil wande no ma kudata na 40 watt nyande noga se go march.
And it was his information which made us know that on the 21st of March they were about to carry out a coup. And at that time,
Antuma mako hore mako ohalani dum Captain Sen he do no mi andre.
he himself gave that information to Captain Sen.
Then Captain Sen no me andri kadi ko on what you call Mariana one day president Mauritania pour hala nam ko dum do kewi.
And it was Captain Sen who called Mariana, who was then with the president in Mauritania.
On Bamba hadema ko may alarba alani ko asset o may kono alarba hadema ko may min jidi.
And Bamba died he died on Saturday, but I saw
on Wednesday before Saturday he died.
Before Saturday he died.
Minjidi council I tag ko kalami ko.
Just go ahead.
Okay.
The commissioners are listening.
Okay. On that Wednesday, he told me. He said that there are some people he suspected who want to poison him so that he can die. He himself, Bamba himself, told me this. This is why when I heard about his death on Saturday, that's the first thing I remembered. His words, what he told me.
Musa Jamme hetumbul tamba minen kibali gandado ciudo mbonganta ma hewbe na ngumisa ko hebi wonde no ma ben ndebe tampi l'hôpital.
And Musa Jamme and Tumbul Tamba, a lot of people also came to know that they also suffered and they were in fact hospitalized.
Yimbe hewbe na chobi.
A lot of people suspected that.
Antuma because put the halaji badi gara haltogol he wayno ni joni be kaltori.
And those two people, what happened was that they started talking by themselves and they were saying some very serious things. And I heard that they were also poisoned so that they can die. And a lot of us heard that news, and a lot of us, in fact, believed what happened. That's what happened.
Who was accused of doing this poisoning?
Hombo tegangal tumal wonde ko kanko wadi dem bade jonnugol be yimbe o posin.
Bamba ndako ora.
Is it Bamba or who?
Bamba, Tumbul, and Musa Jamme.
Bamba on mi anda ko hombo because owiani kam mi kesani molam no ko hombo hebo fogi kono mi andi no andi wonde no ma ko government security agents kono dain Tumbul Tamba he Musa Jamme yimbe ko e mbiata wonde no ma ko ya Jamme tigibi non minen no min nani dum ni hono dum dumani ko non.
And as for Bamba, I don't know. What we had was the government security agents. But as for Tumbul Tamba and Musa Jamme, what they said was it was Yaya Jamme. He gave the directive.
Did the NIA investigate that?
NIA
Three security agents dying of poisoning.
I was not aware of that.
Okay. You were aware of disappearances of individuals?
What do you call me Andy Hande?
Yes, I knew something about it.
Can you tell us?
Randi Marena hebe on nangidan wobe soldado Marena Ibulo he ba me tutorani ile tigi.
You know, Marena was arrested with some other people.
Sorry.
Marena was arrested with some people like Ibulo and Ba and some others.
Ben benanga be pare Arabia Johnny Ben ko nabeteno be janjambure be pare he lawol he moto heavy accident ontuma be posti be ndogi be njehi.
And it was stated that they were arrested and they were en route to be taken to Janjambure. Their vehicle had an accident and that's where they escaped. And it was the government itself who gave out that news that these people escaped after their vehicle had an accident on the way to Janjambure.
Was that news correct or was it
on kibar ko gonga ndako fenande?
hibaro wana ogonga because arani ndedum wadi horem hayminen soma so min puddi lamdondir like officer men puddi lamdo ko hebe ngonno hen because a hulanat ben to be par hono dum wawi bi wonir
because we ourselves at the office, we were unable to believe it, because how could that happen when they were being taken to Janjambure and they were under custody?
Sandari yimbe benganta ma wabe no bedon ni sina nabe from one point to another ko wadi ko correct no security wadi ni taika security minded da andi kule security ka heba moto mungaranta ma ono wana dieso ko jogi be fetelaji ngonta hemako den keba moto gono helerinde on wada wonbe be nganta ben woni nangabe te be par ko potbe wade handcuff kadi ngeba jogi be fetelaji hender on moto den keba kadi moto goddo baaw at least si famdi ha famdi ko moto ji dido moto ji tadi potta hebde.
Things like that, people with, of high profile like those people, if they were being transported from one point to the other, there should have been serious security arrangements, like in front, there would be one vehicle in front where you will have the security and who will also be armed with guns, and there will be another vehicle in the middle, and those people on board that vehicle, where they will be armed, and in fact, where those people arrested, where the vehicle that they will be occupying will also be guarded, and there will be another vehicle behind, where you will have some security officers who will also be armed to make sure that these people are escorted to wherever they are being taken to.
You are saying the government lied.
Yes.
Was it common knowledge at the NIA that the government lied?
Yes.
How about Aruna Jame?
Aruna Jame no, afirma kono.
And the Aruna Jame, me medino one duty scanning lie. Me duty hitani kon forgitan town to my 2000 swaffer.
One time I was on duty at Kanilai. I forgot the day, but it must be with 2000 and hudum.
No, me had it. Me forget had a 2004. Year 2000. The one work to that.
It was before the year 2000.
Around that time.
Around that time.
Johnny, Barado, Midani, communal president. Kono indene non mido wai dumani. Manda ko Haruna kono non. Me forget ko Haruna. Mean he forgot.
But I think the name is Haruna, and I heard that he was the president's brother.
The Vita Usman Tamba, immuno officer, Mentako, me went on duty or return.
Usman Tamba, in fact, I was on duty that day when he came there.
We want to know ko Usman ko Odono Arani, one of the brother president. So one non come Owari or him but on town to Massa, Hebedon Kutano Nage, ko Hedon or Tower.
And he said he came for that man who happens to be the president's brother. And they left together.
Who came for him?
Usman Tamba.
Usman Tamba came to collect him.
And who was Usman Tamba?
He was working at our office, but he is retired now.
And then what happened?
They went together. They went together from our headquarters.
And
I think, if I can remember properly, that man was Haruna, the man he came to collect.
How did you know it was Haruna? And I know that Jalamang happens to be an elderly person, but this man is younger. So as they said he was the president's brother, this is why I thought it was Haruna.
I know that Jalamang is the president's brother, and the other one is also an elderly person. So I believe it is Haruna.
Yeah, I believe that.
Did you hear him being called by that name?
Yes, if I can remember properly, that's the name they called him, if I can remember properly. Okay. In fact, there was a problem there.
What was the problem?
Jalamang. Kono president o ta homoton der galle makko ko ton der galle to sawo jepta ko daya jami on tuma homoton makko horemako.
Jalaman was not there, but the president himself was at home, and that's where he was picked.
So ontuma Jalaman ari nakam lamdo, you know, ko hombo arani do kari. Mi anda ko hombo arani bodo. Do hombo lamdo kadi hoto bina imbo. So owani hombo farsa pur mi halan bo. Ko hombo arani bodo te hoto onaba.
And it was Jalaman who came there and started asking me, who came here to collect this man, and where was he taken to?
Which man did he tell you?
If I can remember, he used the name Haruna Jamme.
Then ontumanon ombokam alani hombolobi ombokam yonde anda komi woni kotika president kombi won fokol mo wata mbi won anda won komi kebje president ko dum adimindo.
And in fact, the man was angry when he was talking. He was saying that, don't you know that I am the president's brother? Then I also told him that, yes, but we are also here for a purpose.
Did you tell him where Haruna was?
No,
I didn't tell him. Because there were many people. Even if I am going to tell him, I will not be able to tell him there because there were many people present.
So you never told him that Haruna was picked up by the NIA?
Yes. Later on, he agreed to talk to me separately. Then that's the time I gave him the information that it was Usman Tamba who came for Haruna.
Oh, no, was Haruna seen since then?
That's not clear to me.
How about Mercy?
Mercy, no?
Jamme?
Mercy Jamme.
Mercy on mi andano yari kono ado first am yagolton mi andatum ko 96 dako 97 mi andi on tuma kay Mercy mi yanu mo tebe pare ko
2006. Mercy, I don't know what happened to her.
Alani min ko on time tam yeton labididi dum woni ado am yagolton dum ko 96 wala 97 on tuma mi no Mercy because the secretary sa you know, I
was going there around 96. That's the time when I used to see Mercy. In fact, sometimes he used to give us food because things were not very well, things were not easy at that time at the place. That's the time when I used to see Mercy. Yes. But after that, I don't see her anymore.
The NIA was also involved in elections. This country.
In the knee lady.
Yes.
Do what?
Rani si elections nawala normally can min badete hender lady you are deployed already alani miden kebi officer ji jam hender lady.
When elections are approaching and about to take place, they deploy us around the country because we have offices around the country.
What
is your purpose of deployment?
41 de ko pour check goal pour wala faire on election o yara no 14 year
go just to go and check and make sure that elections happen accordingly the way it should happen.
Is it to help the government rig the elections?
Pour 2016 what?
That happened in 2016.
The government wanted to steal the election and they wanted the NIA to help.
Well, what happened, if you look at it properly, that's the only reason.
That's the only thing you can say.
That's the only thing you can say.
That it is, of course, to rig.
Yes. Why do you say that?
We want the election of Fewani. Nawadi dulaji yimbe makonja benjabani yimbe makobe ngota nangam they don't get it onto my office hall town.
After the elections, when Yaya Jammeh said elections were not fair, They prevented these people from voting.
Then lady sako URR he doing the yimbe amen be bengat no voter register the fourth office headquarters amen.
And our people who were posted at various places in the upriver and some other areas, they had to bring all the voter register books.
Dum sanari dum Johnny ko taki fere dumara go ton ko wata ma holudan kari voti he kari votani so ananden be biya be votani be ko ben kada vot wala ko ben dumani pon no votande ya.
And when you go through those books, the only thing you can find out is Mr. So-and-so voted or he didn't vote. And those who didn't vote, those people were the ones you can check.
Dumaya jona no holliga puganda yamme ko vita ko himbe mako ina kata award vote ayat bedon biata onde ko bedo ben goni ben kare be just number di ofo. And
what they wanted to do was to take the numbers of the people who didn't vote. Then that's the time when they'll say Mr. So-and-so didn't vote and so on, and those people were going to be the people who are going to be checked.
That seems to me like some desperate investigative moves and not necessarily an effort to steal an election. Would you agree?
No, why no? Ko bitere wadi konon wana wondema konon wote fi wote foti topitade konon de ko bitere wairi untuma no wayno dal o yani
ani ko bitere ndenganan tama hende wondi he mijo pour adugo dal ko wana law.
Well, that means truly they wanted to do something which was illegal.
Disparate investigation and trying to defraud.
Yes.
But that aside, the NIA was used to intimidate political opponents of the APRC.
NIA okidben golle pour be hulbina yimbe mo anduda ko ben dal be sobi wo be daranani yeso leydi ndi
ani dum midway okuru difference am because sanari goddi di sibengani joni an ka akelifa te hada he jogi bawo.
When they check and know that this person is an elderly person and he has a good background,
mada fere nobe kebirma ida be mbelni to manu ngondi da hema be wala be mada pewje ma be no nobe duman kebirma dal.
They will always set plans how they can win you over. They will coerce you to join them, or they will set other plans whereby they will be able to get what they want from you.
Like what kinds of plans? What kinds of plans?
And like Sanari OJ.
Just like if you look at somebody like OJ.
2006, by the mean onto my mean Gabotonobe, because me he meeting Ibo town, me he meeting Abuko, he did on area before onto my presidential election or Yajame Fakiti town. To do Bengoni Guy town, Purwatabe, Kawandik, Dula, Fitina. I
attended meetings at Ibo town and some other places.
UDP,
the meetings that the UDP were carrying out.
I think something is missing in the interpretation. I had fitna, but that was not interpreted.
Fitna, that means to create problems, to bring trouble.
But that was not interpreted.
Sorry about that.
Could you say that again? Could you go back to that?
Andi mako hambo foti yautu town arande poti taro le dima efo kono be jata ni ko goto yauta town ha juta then goto ne rewan so nde be jauti town on tuma UDP tana hede combo guy kanifin municipality be guy mbada meeting haden
if they always give chance for these heads to pass. For example, if Yaya Jammeh is supposed to pass by somewhere, they will make arrangements for him to pass, and it will take some time before the other one, like the opposition, will be allowed to come and pass by the same area. Just to avoid trouble.
Johnny Oje don hemitina jidi guy ko wona tombo hala jidi ngantama
and
OJ,
the meetings that he was attending and where he was speaking ko hodum halaji halata.
Mbola mbohala halaji mbola ndari ndira lamu jawara he ko be kebi ko mabbe ko galleji do hebi wala ko way heb he ko jawara ko goddo way heb he Yaya Jammeh he yimbe makko be on waktu ko be mbawi ko heb he gede kewde de o halta de ganantama lamu ngu tawi so yaadi ni nder leddi o tarogema hedi halaji tan yimbe hewbe dala dum te dum na way wat fere ha sorry.
What OJ was saying, he was comparing the Jawara government and the Yaya Jammeh government. The good things that were happening during Jawara's government, those things and things that were happening in Yaya Jammeh's government, these things were the things that he was comparing. And the way he was doing it is a way whereby they will win more people to come and join them instead of joining the other party. That's the way he was doing his campaign.
My question is, was the NIA used at any point in time to intimidate people?
NIA what
to support the APRC or to withdraw their support from the opposition?
Yes, I said that.
Yes. General, it involves security.
Yes, I said that. Just as I was saying, I gave OJ's case as an example. This is why, in fact, he was arrested and taken to Kairaba station. So that he will not be part of the team who were going to tour the country.
Do you have any other example of such steps taken by the security agencies in order to give an unfair advantage to the government in power?
There was somebody also called Ture. He was staying around Tobacco Road.
Keba Ture?
Keba Ture. Antuma ne omedo adiobion ta kadi election one red. Ta umbo jogi kadi arani next election area parliamentary election. Ko umbo jogi parallel results. Dingan tama di church he official result gokirado.
As for Keba Ture, there was a time when he had results which were quite different from the results that were announced. And I heard that he once came with those things to our office.
UDP.
And that was Profunting Golhombo UDP and Kebature, and it was a plan to remove him from the UDP.
Kebature was at some stage tortured, wasn't he?
Kebature, Gilaw Adanoton, what heavy no commander or Tapama or Damaton Komusi, and I Hogoton, Dawanagonga.
That's not clear to me, but it's a possibility.
All right. We would leave that for some other witnesses. Now, let's go back to what you said about Silaba's child.
Video.
Could you start it? Yes.
Well,
Take it back.
Yes. Yes. It will. Take it back.
Stop it. The interpretation that came through is I have never held the hand, I have never set eyes on his son. Was that what you said?
What the interpreter said, and that's not what I said. Listen to the tape.
So, listen
to the tape, what I said.
Just hold a second. Was there an interpretation mistake or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Okay. It
because
was
I did the interpretation mistake. Yes, I did the interpretation.
All right.
Can you increase the volume so the commission hears exactly what you guys said?
Well, I guess it's a technical problem. Okay. It's a technical problem. We can provide the timestamp for the commissioners to take a look at it later. But I think the interpreters confirmed that the mistake was theirs. He said something in fuller, and the interpretation that came through was that he said son. The witness is saying he said child. Well, our interpreter said they made the mistake, so we have to accept that it was their mistake. So, thank you, Mr. Cham,
Mr. Cham,
for answering my questions. Before I yield the floor, do you regret the tortures you carried out at the NIA?
Nda, bade de waɗɗare ndu woni labbugol ma waɗugol yimɓe ko muusiɗe waɗɗaɗen NIA nda annimsi ɗum.
Ɗum min nimsi ɗum no bede te kala ɗo ɗum wawi won.
I regret that very seriously, and whoever it may be.
Wherever
it may be.
Si tawi ngandumi yo mi anda fo mi nimsi ɗum be pare mi ɗo yafno. Whether
I was aware or not, I am saying that I regret, and I'm appealing for forgiveness.
To mi ɗo andi lakara e hoore mum ɗum Allah lamdoto kam ɗum mi yawta sirata ɗum mi waɗa ɗum setol.
And I know that even in the next world, I'll be questioned about that. I will not cross the bridge without me being questioned about that. Anybody who can forgive me before that. I'm appealing to you. And for this, I really regret this. I regret it, and Allah knows that.
So,
it is Allah who knows whatever is in a person's mind. But for Allah and His Messenger, anybody who can forgive me, I am appealing to you. This is what I can say, tell you.
Among your victims is a female.
A female.
Among your victims was a female cashier who worked at Nawek.
Debbo goɗɗo no tan wonana wondema ko mo ligge makko ɗen no fewti e fewde jawdi ndin mo liggonu Nawek.
Who said she was severely kicked and beaten like a football.
Wi wondema kanko e no lappira no lappe musude te o lata o damfano o ballorde no latirte no.
What do you say to her?
Ko honɗum heɓuɗa ko wiyata on debbo?
Alani mi salaki wonde no ma.
Seynabou Keita.
Mi ma do mi salaki junga amme mimbo.
I have made it clear I cannot refuse to say that.
I didn't refuse. I cannot refuse. I say I did not refuse.
Misalaki.
I did not refuse. I couldn't mean. What do you mean?
Yes. Okay. I am.
Misalaki wonde no ma junga amme mimbo.
On heɓuɗa ko haalantamo on Seynabou.
What I said is that I'm appealing to her to forgive me. If she can forgive me from now against the next war, I am appealing to her to forgive me.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you, Mr. Cham, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Yeah, man, when you heard John Deng, we want them, Oyeti Council, Oyeti Mang Sede, on Mr. Cham, Argolmangal, John Nado Sede, Agalmangal.
Before I turn to the Commissioners for any questions they may have,
I'm
going to take you through a few very unpleasant points.
We follow
first, if you can help us for the record,
the
list of methods of torture that NIA agents use.
If
you want me to give you one or two examples, you have beatings, you have electrocutions, and so on and so forth.
You
must be aware of the various methods of torture. We'll start with that and then continue with a few related to torture.
Yes, the two that you've mentioned.
The ones you mentioned, not yes. The two. The ones you mentioned, You
mentioned the two.
This is why I said the ones he mentioned. That's what I said. I did not say two there.
Yes, okay, the ones he mentioned.
They
were part of it.
Now I saw Adama Johnny. I go to a halda time. I go to a time a silence technique.
Well, sometimes if a person is brought, they will just put you at one place. Nobody will take to you. Nobody will have anything to do with you. That's the silence technique.
But
they will give you food and water. And if you want to visit the restroom too, they will allow you. And these are things that happen there.
Let's focus on physical torture.
If you can
give me some examples of what NIA uses. I'm aware of at least maybe 15 or so. I had gone to Copenhagen on behalf of the United Nations to a torture rehabilitation center. And the methods that are displayed in that center, they're extraordinary. You added monkey dancing. You didn't mention that one. But if you can just stay with the physical tortures for the moment, I'll come back to you on that.
And yes, monkey dancing, and it is also a part of physical fitness, because that will also give you physical fitness.
Yes.
Even though it's a form of punishment. Go ahead.
Yes, that's part of it.
Like what Golma handcuff, do the made kabe, or like Nonjidani, quite a made kabe.
And also they will tie your hands and tie your legs.
Waterboarding?
No, waterboarding mean komi andi dal. Misa arani like mido andi ne numna wada lote ndiam. You know, when jurma ndiam, go di sida ina ubini ne sa jurama ndiam. Numne na wai wande.
Yes, that is part of it. It's possible. Like cold water, they can pour it on you. That happens.
Again, this is for the record, the methods of torture that you use at NIA. That's what we're working on. So waterboarding is one of those.
Yes.
Hey.
Any more?
Ani like taiko military ni jongla si watani akadi dumani ono vitako ngona hada wada unity basel. You roll by your head like
yes,
this.
Just as when the junglers are also handling you, you can be made to roll on your head, turning round and round while you go roll on your head.
And does NIA give a training on these methods?
No, jangin tage they don't pay it. Kono midandi like the silence technique dum na tawa he ko jangin tego. Ko silent technique dum woni joni arani go in nedo arat on go lobi ha boxity. Silent don't be don't not tawa he ko jangin tego.
Well, as for these head rules, they don't teach people or train people about that. But for the silence technique, when somebody comes, is angry, yes, that happens.
Yeah, Johnny, Achan Modon, only run on hard, maybe Horemako.
You can leave that person alone there until when the person now recovers.
Well, like this, or any corporate, Puru Sai or Dumaninani Hamodon, Puru or what a corporate, Hekon Chogudonko, or Randa Modon Dal, or Walla on Kodabitonko, or Walla on Dabiton, Dumnaya silence technique, because I'd be 72 hours. Yonaya Jot number on that. Saya jipagon ma foti njaha gadi siweti kadi ngaksa ko way non hande hade 72 hours maybe go dia ya be kabat sibe kabitan be ngarat be mbima ko nangam henangam ni dum wonere.
Well, as for the silence technique also happens when somebody is uncooperative. Somebody who is brought there and he's not ready to help you people, you just put the person and leave the person alone there in the silence technique. So when within the 72 hours, some of them will just come by themselves and cooperate and give you maybe the information that you want. They will cooperate anyhow. That happens also.
With this long list of methods that we use to torture individuals, which ones have you used them personally yourself on victims?
Ila get a sifa for the fair sifa for the yetondo puru itingol netonka ena mo so nangimo ang tigi on. They held out in for Kondi, Nafitor made a Nafitor the poor biting on letter.
In me one in at the monkey dance.
I have made somebody to do the monkey dance.
Be pare kadi aya Johnny kadi mi lemirin that jungam.
I have also hit somebody with my bare hands. Yes.
So there are only two methods that you used them throughout your 15 years with NIA?
Do be support what the Ligida NIA for get it tangent to that.
Silent technique or yes, to some extent.
Yes, to some extent I also use the silent technique.
The monkey dance, and you said that had two objectives. One, to help the victim to exercise,
and also for inflict pain.
Ida monkey dance on no kona fadi one do one tidi na ontigi musina mo bandu nunkadi.
Yes.
One was to victimize, and two was to help him, her, exercise his own good.
Yes, I've never done it to a woman.
A female.
Right. Commissioners, if you have any questions, Deputy Chair, please go ahead.
Deputy Kia Umano on ma arda ilandagol.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Esa. Thank you, Mr. Cham.
Deputy Kia, we thank you, Ojarama Kia man, Ada Jarama Council, Ajarama Kadisede.
By your behavior here,
No, Holirani Horamado.
you have demonstrated that you are a temperamental person.
A holy man do connect manuda bernama immai alobai.
You get easily angered when things do not go your way.
Alobai ko yawi sita pijidini yarani anno yibirani.
Even in a respectable environment like the TRRC.
So even high sita ko dula manuda yimbe ben no tekini don no wano TRRC don wai.
Your mood swings have shown that you can engage in unpredictable behavior when things do not go your way.
Dum holli awa wonde nodde mo anduda o sansay ko yawi tumango wona neddo mo anduda boni bubi tumango wona neddo mo anduda fi makko no wuli awawa sansude wa non.
This can lead to detrimental action on your part.
Dum non wawa wadde mbada goddum no mo anduda no musi
A person that is being investigated.
mbada dum neddo mo anduda odon lara fi makko.
Did the NIA provide you training in anger management and in investigative techniques?
Joni non NIA be jangrini on pour neddo saado wada sifadi golle pour wawa wonde neddo tam anduda o lobata o neddo manduda o munyay be jangini on don sengona kala and what else madam?
Investigative techniques.
Sita on dartina fi goddo o be jangini on din ferejina.
Hey.
Yes.
You had the training in anger management and in investigative techniques.
Jangini on pour no wawata marirde loberema sano dartina fi goddo on kala no wadirta on ligge be jangini on din don fo.
Mi jangi dum no better because when I do hele de ta mi jangi dum.
I was trained very well in these things, and it was not even in this country.
The kadi mean what sandari no mi halektani jimbe andube kambe tigi ngandi no mi halektani wana dum tigi woni min tigi.
And how some people, a lot of people who know me know that this is my way of talking. It doesn't mean any adverse thing on my side, but
andi non sa anda kam an wa for because musibe ambe e ko ma be ngandi ko kan wala be ligodami te kala mo ligodami ne sa anda tam because hay se awala ma transfer to mi woni wala ngoni be mi ama he ay to mo nganta ma ko baddo difficult because I'm principle to kware kono andu be kambe tigi billahi wana no pogigdani because halam ka min simido hala godi no mi haliri fo konon halaka jesokta poga na koni mido lobi te tawa tam no ba ameda nan mido haba officer men hay godo wa bi mido haba ton wala la godo wala hoddi be am.
Well, I am somebody, this is part of my nature. The way I speak, the more I speak, the more my voice rises. Because even the office where I work, if somebody is transferred there, what they usually tell the person is that, hey, you've gone to a difficult place. But those people who know me very well, they know that this is the way how I speak. Because even if that is the case, I've never even fought with anybody. It's just my nature.
And the minjata Morocco, minjade ben benganakam. After dumbe me kono minjehi, bengari mbikam minen no min biga ni kulyo hewin tayrimani wana gotum.
And when we were going to Morocco, I went to Morocco with some people. But when we came back, what they told me was that, well, we were the information we got about you is quite different. We didn't see the way that you were portrayed.
Boss amen sadi hombo andi first time nemi ari don hay makko hombo dum ha mugam yarani nomi fogel non e dumani wana gotum billahi gandu do dum tigi min wana min do fitna wana no pogida nomi hale kon non nalan min nomi hale tani ko ni Allah wadir kam hay min bido andi dum ko witness am dum nataki fega yimbe nakam de bi hul kono billahi wana dum tigi woni min
this is my nature. It is not part of being somebody. It is the way I speak. It is the way I talk. Even my boss, after being with him, then he told me one day, he told me, well, the way you were portrayed to me turned out to be a different person. It is my nature. It is the way I speak. It is the way I do things. But it is not. It doesn't mean that I am somebody who is a troublesome person.
Num ay luwa sawe an galla ambe hebe dum gandi se daba sudu adumani be ngala me ka Cham ndemi daba to sudu ne mbimi ko to Cham mi woni ko dum do be wiata kam ni ay keda la me ngal hebe gandi sa ma be hebe gandi
even in my compound,
if
somebody is those who live in my compound, even if you ask them, that's what they will tell you. I'm somebody who is not a troublesome person, but the way I speak is my nature. I'm just like this. It is how Allah created me. But I am not a person who likes to offend people. I don't like telling lies, and I'm somebody who always want to be straightforward. Soap cannot wash itself clean, but people who know me know what I'm talking about. And those who know where I come from, they also know.
Thank you, Mr. Cham. But with all due respect to you, we say actions speak louder than words.
Ajarama Mr. Cham, kono neto no wadi da piji, kono ni yimbe ben nangirtama.
And the commission can only assert your behavior from what we've seen over the past 2 days.
Commission kobe yi no wadirta ni wala no hollirda horema di balde didi konon be wawata ba nangirde.
According to you, you have been adequately trained.
No wirda ni be janginima ko foti.
The purpose of training people and of educating them
dalila ko be janginta yimbe ko tobbe be walla ma kala be holla ma fereje ligeden
is to bring about positive behavior change on their part.
Ko dalila makko ko lumoni pour be sansa joma o wona yim neddo mo anduda mo yaada e lawol o yaada e piiji no yimbe be yidiri ni e golle den no yidiri ni.
I hope that the experience here
mi sikku awa ko yalti do ko
will lead to you taking positive steps.
Walla ma pour ankala joni banga lawol mo anduda no serti no hollirda hore madi
to change your behavior.
Pour sansa no wadirta ni.
We would also like to offer you the services of the psychosocial department of the TRRC.
TRRC no marido liggotobe mo anduda be walla yimbe ngon sengo pour lobre pour be jippina lobre ma membawa ma okude ballal e ngon sengo kala
to help you in managing your anger.
Pour be walla ma no wawata muñde e dow lobre ma sa lobi.
Okay, thank you.
Jarama
job mi do ma nyaagi anne kadi pungo ka kam dua pour dum don.
I thank you very much, madam, and I'm also appealing to you to pray for me so that that will happen to me.
It is extraordinary that you said you never fought anybody.
Yes.
Yet you had a reservoir of aggression that you took out on victims. You're capable of beating somebody under your control, but not able to fight somebody of your stature and age, perhaps.
Bi bernde mo anduda wawa wadde a lippat goddo a lippan neddo ko muusi kono no wayri wiida a meeda habde goddo nonu jakini kudum wadi hala dum.
Commissioner Samba, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Samba kala fara malamdude.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Chairman.
Intelafte nyini nkala kukilin nala Mr. Cham.
Gunde water mifala malamdude Mr. Cham. I want to ask you one thing, Mr. Cham.
Sede kilin nata janne.
One witness came here.
Ako alla NIA.
He said at the NIA,
Alkadena no sacrifice.
They bring babies there for sacrifice.
Atakita sedo la sinyafula.
And the person said he witnessed this thing twice.
Yedena no ke karton kono.
A baby was placed in a carton. And you put this baby in a carton and you sealed it and brought it to him and tell him to keep it until your boss comes. You did it once. You did it on the second time. He said after these babies were brought, he checked. The first one was alive because the baby was moving inside the carton, but the second one doesn't even move.
So because I have
because I want you to clear that portion. Because this witness said it here and the whole world heard this. That witness, what I can say about the witness is a liar, and that witness was not telling the truth. That was not true.
Tukalel jibinangel boyani na don ada purwago sa tata mine office of do mi tawa alam mo njaming bi mi ndara nam dum so namako.
Well, I am not mad to handle babies like that, saying that to put a baby in a carton just as he stated, and there was nobody whom I ever told to look after a baby for me if it was not for him. And if you look at that, it cannot be true. And in fact, those babies, where am I going to get them from? It is not true. And if had it happened, yes, I will say here that it's true, it happened. But it was not true, it was a lie. That person doesn't tell the truth.
Ite fe woto ite sobite songna karun ko mamo foy
no interpreter o wi every time bo wi amin wadum play wadum play
if it is let them play the video
then did abang
flanjao
ani la felo mumpura because ate sound la ko
mari di don fo na di gonga la bi di don fo na gonga
ko sinya flo be man ke tonyati.
Okay, lafte dani la men na fana flanjang.
What I also want to appeal to you for, secondly,
as far as isonta ko yeli parokele,
as far as you agreed that you have hit people
and you mo jamale tocho
and you have tortured many people
and you will tocho yela
and you have abused those people's rights.
I
think you should appeal to those people so that they can forgive you. But the way you are appealing for forgiveness, I don't think that's the right way to do it. Anything has a way how to say it. When saying it, you say that true, what I have done is not correct. And you take it deep from your heart to say that what I did is not correct. So I'm appealing to you people to forgive me.
Truth and reconciliation.
And I think I think sometimes as far they said truth, reconciliation, and reparations, maybe some people will forgive you.
And
I think the way you are talking, just saying that forgive me, and you didn't take it deep from your heart, some of them, I think, will not forgive you.
So this
is what I can advise you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I've
heard what he said. The apologies I made here, I took it deep from my heart. And it is something which is in my mind. It is something really which I took from my heart. It is from my heart. I appeal to them and I'm begging them for that. Yes.
Commissioner Kerr, and followed by Commissioner Kinte and Bishop on my right, and then I'll turn to the commissioners on the left. Commissioner Kerr, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Cham, for coming to testify before this commission. My first question to you is, you call torture prim param. Do you have other names for torture at the NIA? What other names did you use for torture?
Landiam following go do and torture could be what prim param. Sayoti prim param. Lapuga sifa honunga one tonka NIA.
I spoke this in fuller.
Okay, thank you. The second is, we've had witnesses who came here and told us you had torture instruments at the NIA. And the chairman asked you about the torture methods you used at the institution. So logically, it would just be that some of these torture methods went with, went with certain instruments. What were some of these instruments that were used to torture people? Idum ko ni ko ton odo sa min badi dum do list ha pare pour konti golli ko dum like machine courant.
There are things that we wrote on a list, things like the electrocution machine.
Yeah, we were handcuffs.
And handcuffs.
They don't that when they don't ban li warandi.
And that bed that was in a room there. And sticks.
We've heard about the talk-through machine. Do you know anything about that?
That's the machine I'm talking about. It is the electrocution machine.
Okay. And the third question, or the fourth question is on, because we've also received testimony that there were some civilians within the population who were used as spies for the NIA. People within the civilian population. Yes. Teachers.
Yes. That's true.
Even people at the market.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
As a commissioner, we can recruit. Even
you, as a commissioner, we can recruit you so that we'll know what is taking place at the commission here. It's true. Yes, it's true.
Okay, thank you. Those were my questions.
You can try it. I don't think you would succeed. Commissioner Kinte, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Kinte, Omar,
Mr. Cham, yesterday,
Mr. Cham, Hangi,
in the beginning you said you overheard the tortures of Silaba Samade.
We video Hangi wonder Silaba Samade met Bitako Hibitonko Nanda with Ananino Dundong.
Of course, later you yielded to the interrogation of the lead counsel. by admitting that you saw it.
Gila landa ngol e jaba ngol drugi hakuna ma e council jabuda wida wonda ma e ayi wat mo be lapay mom.
But in a clandestine manner.
Kono no yurda dum don hari labani makadi.
According to you, you peeped and saw Silaba.
That was not Silaba's case.
Sorry, maybe.
Yes.
Balokante.
Please, Balokante. Yes. Sorry, please, for the mistaking of the name. Balokante. And you confess that you saw him being electrocuted. Meaning you have seen the application. What indicated to you that he was being electrocuted while you were peeping?
Because I saw the machine in there.
The machine is an appliance. The application, the machine must have something that is applied to perform the function. How did that look like? The scenario.
The machine has electric cables which will be fixed into a socket.
So I imagine I dum don kawia wan de ta nani no net on aluka. So dum kawia kai dum don dum.
If you see the machine and see somebody shouting or screaming, you will know that the machine is being used on him.
Yes, because you confirmed he's been electrocuted. Who was actually electrocuting Balokante?
Mi ana tigi ko hombode kono mi dandi kay masino omboton kono bedo ne tanango no to benne mi beton dakton bembe mi no be hangi.
The people I named yesterday were the people inside there, but I don't know exactly which one of them was using the machine on him.
Let's go further. I think the machine has tools that are placed on the person, on an organ or part of a body.
Nobody feel it. Somebody feel auto socket then why output didn't feel it.
Yes, you see the machine. It has cables which will be plugged into a socket, and there are other cables which they will use to electrocute the person.
No, as output.
It has an output where...
But someone must control the output, otherwise it will be lying on the floor or idling somewhere.
No, feel you say the post ama kasoke to hidi jogi ni kinal kayal tile doko jogete ko dihanda na kongal kinal tonka jogi ko don gadda post daga bandu net dongo.
Mi dandi kono lani mi no mi yiri ni bati mi hudum don ni no mi jogni ni mi hudum don ni kono wana wande no mi nak ko hudum senga kono mi dandi ka dum wala he block he.
Well, what I saw when I peeped inside was the machine. I saw the machine.
No, bogidia the capito the pemi head mako kono ndako di kapa he mako nako di kapa dum no kitan we te tanari doni ko mi boyandon ko mi are ko mi do humpa.
And at that time, I haven't spent a long time there when this incident happened. I saw the cables which went towards the victim, but I didn't see how it was fixed on him.
Who was immediately next to the victim during that period?
If I can remember, they put him in the middle. They surrounded him, the three people whom I named.
Except that if one will be holding the legs, the other the hands, and then the third guy, because you named three people.
And you know, I had a handcuff.
And he was cuffed. His hands were cuffed. So he will not be able to do anything else.
In that case, why would we need all three people assembling around him? There must be someone applying. We want to know the applicator, the person applying.
Well, that's not clear to me. That's not clear to me who was doing the application.
You know you have sworn to the Quran.
Very well.
Very well.
You don't actually, in any case, you can't determine who was applying the machine on Barlow. Are you truthful?
Very well.
Very well.
Thank you.
Wallahi.
Thank you, Bishop Odiko.
Commissioner Bishop Odiko kadi fala malanda.
Thank you, Chairman.
We ajara makiaman.
Mr. Omar Cham.
We Mr. Omar Cham.
I think in your testimony yesterday, you made mention that a medical board made a recommendation on your health condition.
Vida wanda wa be da kafudarna no mbiana na ko nyawndobe be hollirno be yamirno wonde ma pour e cellal mangal no wolirno be jenono yamirore.
Can you kindly remind us what the recommendation was?
Ndahida way mandinde yimbe ko hondum yam ndey yamirore ko be jonnuno e dow cellal mangal ko hondum yamirore hondum be jonnuno.
I think I have a copy of the medical report. Let me try to see it through here, then I read directly from it, if you would allow me. Chitai at Jabanaka. I don't think I brought it here. Anyway, Kawai hand 14, yo. This Ministry of Health and Social Welfare at the Cotton letter or a reference C12 volume 3B.
They said the letter came from the Ministry of Health and the reference number, that's what he read.
Letter on March 1995.
1995, 14th March was the date on the document.
We were at the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dobson Street, Banjul.
Address to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dobson Street in Banjul.
We were Medical Board, Sergeant 1689 Omar Cham.
It was, the heading was Medical Board, Sergeant 1689
Omar Cham,
1689 Omar Cham, GNA.
And we were Medical Board, na no group sol numa ono wite bom doctor robe be nandama be chubano bendara kule jude Omar Cham de.
Certain doctors were selected to sit and look at the affairs of Omar Cham and about his hands.
Time bongalantama wibena nambonganyo ndewani duty July balejogom 1994.
Because he was wounded by some thieves on the 6th of July in 1994.
Then we jude makode ngonirini dum o harata do lim gede jowi de olimido.
And the condition of his hands, 5 things were counted.
We wonder no ma mido wono he Saturday Monday he do tawata yijam dam no dum yaltiran no ni ta na boni no bete he was severely in shock due to profuse bleeding. Number 1.
The first one was the profuse bleeding.
And number 2, mbikadi wande no mido heavy chopane bonde he jude.
And number 2, the second one was that he had serious cuts on his hands. They said his left hand.
Vascular bundle transaction.
Well, that's a medical term with the
deep laceration wound left forearm with online neurovascular bundle transaction. Number 3.
Number 3, that's also with a deep cut was mentioned, plus followed by a medical term.
Number 3, deep wande nama ganyande bonde kadi he jungo am nyamo he.
And it was also stated that he had a serious wound on his right hand. And also his right thumb also had a cut. And his palm was also having a cut.
Proximal forearm with injury to ulnar nerve.
And on his hand also, it was said that there was a wound which he sustained on his hand.
Number deep laceration wound of right thumb, right wrist, and proximal forearm with injury to the ulnar nerve.
Well, another medical term, but they said, it was said that his thumb and his hand were also wounded, which were serious.
Nayabo mbika di mido hebi ganyande bonde do jungo chango nyamo do hebao amhe dumoni den.
And the fourth one also, they said I had a serious wound.
No, don't go guy. Sorry, wana to bao to. Money deep laceration wound, right mastoid occipital region of scalp. The one in the Ganyande.
Yes, the wound he sustained on his on the back of his head.
Mindika di mido hebi yuan de bande to bao amdo head jumbo nyamo do hebao head hetaka yal ambawangal. One stab wound over dorsal region of left erector spine muscle.
They said he had a deep stab wound which also was very close to his spine.
Mbi Johnny de Ganyande on waktu me matatum no condition amo na wono wande no ma mi wawa nangu hunde ko moji jungo am jungo nyamongo puri bande jungo nanongo.
And they said in that condition my right hand was seriously disabled, so that I cannot hold something properly.
And we reducing gripping power in both hands. Left hand worse than right hand.
And they said my left hand was worse than my right hand, and I cannot grip things properly.
Idabo bembi wande nama jude amde kode mayat be pare kadi sako hebubol ayat jude de kode de mayat ta de mbata dumaninde dumoni stiffen and frozen hands to cold weather.
And it was also stated that during cold weather my hands will become stiff and frozen, so that their function will be limited.
And his current disability is rated at 50%. Maybe horrible Judam John ye had a psychoteme de Chapani joy for Yatane Judame.
And it was based on these wounds mentioned, they said his ability has been reduced by 50% to use his hands properly.
I support the recommendation of the members of the board to retire him from service. He should also be compensated for his disability rate at 50%. Signed, Director of Health Services.
And it was said that the Director of Health Services signed, saying that he recommends him to be retired because of the disability that has happened to him because of his hands. So and he should be compensated for that.
No medical board report or a horror, you know. And
I also have the report of the medical board itself.
This is
that's how
Mr. Chair.
No sensation.
Mr. Chair, with all due respect,
you want to raise a point of order?
Yes, with all due respect, this is very interesting. It suffices that he just puts the report in. This is way before he joined the NIA, and really would not have much of a significant bearing on the proceedings, much as this is interesting. So I suggest that perhaps we just put in the documents so that the commissioners can see it for themselves and evaluate it.
That's right, and if you decide to suggest their inclusion as exhibits, then we can do that as well. But that decision would be yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Bishop, if you want to continue.
looking at you physically, presently, that report does not seem to, actually describe you in your physical presence as now.
So report o hollirani wonde ma antigitigi no wondirda ni ka wondo no bandu maru no keddire no tidire ni hollirani dum ni joni ni.
And report all ko ontuma tebe pare report o kadi ko affaire juude amde kono wona bandu amde horom ko affaire juude amde
the report was referring to the time when I was checked, and the report was also referring to my hands, not my whole body.
Te jeptugol goddum dum tigi horom ko problème am te pare bindugol kadi aya junga amde wona na diwna na posto.
And also to hold something, to grip something strongly, is sometimes a problem for me. And even to write, sometimes you will see my hands shaking.
Thank you. Imam Jallo, you have the floor, followed by Commissioner Kai. You said you had an additional question. We'll come back to you.
Witness, ang osede, and ko pular mi halata. I will speak in Fula. Ang gilanatu da ide golle. Since when you went into this job, e boneji ko wadon fo onon fo in their own office, and all the wrongs you committed in that office, you beat people, you locked up people, you offended people. Up to this time, up to some people who did those crimes are still working in that job. Now you, as for you, where are you working right now? At the same place. No. You think that's safe? Because how I saw you, and how you speak, and how you behave, you have not changed. And also, you people there, all of you, people who did these wrong things to people, according to your own thinking, what should have happened to you people? You don't think what's good for you people to leave the job for you and resign from the job by yourselves? What do you think? Yes, you people, you are seeking what you have been mandated to seek for. Now, at the end of the day, at the end of your job, it's left to you people to recommend what you think is better. And I think if somebody did commit a wrong and the person regrets his crimes and now that person comes to apologize, well, it's left for people to look at it. Yes.
Thank you. Imam C, you have the floor.
Greetings to you and thanks for agreeing to come here. Two things I'll ask. The other one is I will advise you. The one I will ask you about is the fuller people who wounded you. Well, how did it end up? Nothing happened about it. And they were not arrested. They were arrested, of course, but what should have happened didn't happen. My second thing is I will advise you. Those people who you've tormented, who you've tortured, what I'm advising you is to seek their forgiveness and you apologize to them. This is what I have to tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Vision, did you want the floor? Sorry.
Witness.
You said witness. You said
Commissioner Samba
Commissioner Samba questioned you about something, which is about the babies in the cartons. I don't know how you will take that question.
But
the witness who stated it here said Mfali Jabang. Now I want to ask you, Mfali Jabang, whether that person is still working within the security apparatus or where is that person working now? Whether at that time he was working with the security unit, the NIA.
Fali Jabang bomi andio.
The Fali Jabang I know. What I know is that he is a soldier. He never worked at the NIA.
Military intelligence. And
if I can remember, he was a member of the military intelligence unit. That's where he was working.
Okay, well, I'm left in I am Fali Jaban for Omar Cham. So, what I'm going to from Fali Jaban be NIA. Mrs. Aldo Coloto and Fatou.
The witness named Mfali Jabang, not Omar Cham. This is why I want this point to be clear.
Okay, Abaraka.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you. Commissioner Kerr, your additional question?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Cham, the question is in relation to the torture machine that you mentioned. Do you know what happened to that machine?
Mr. Cham,
do you know where we can find it?
Kodumoni oya machine ko be wiete ko talk through hala machine hala gonga joni non mi anda on machine ko hono sakitori
on machine mina gandalam koto store to moptik de to bagage koton ono he ko mi andi so mi anda non nako boto na joni nako ala ton dum mi anda dum.
What I know about that machine is that it was placed in a store where we park our things. Still, I don't know whether it is still there or not. I don't know anything about it now. But at that time, it was placed in the store. Mike.
Which time are you referring to?
Waktu hombo haltani, waktu hombo warnodum ender magazine o.
Nindum lo min do gandalam ko ontuma around 2000 or around late 90s 2000 around ontuma because mi dani wonde no ma si o yusaga koton o wanda koton woni plasma koton o wanda so comme ta mi koton o woni e do gandalam.
How the last time I knew anything about this machine was in the late 90s or towards 2000, but after that I cannot say anything about the machine. I don't know.
I
don't know
where it used to be kept.
And that's the place, the store, that's where it used to be kept.
Thank you. Mr. Cham, before I give you the floor to make final remarks, if you have any, what compensation are you receiving at the moment from the government?
Mr. Cham, okama lawol pour ankala ferma yewtere ma joni kobe futuma okude ballal kobe futuma okude ko hono be wallirtama joni o darnde.
Compensation for what?
Compensation for what?
Pension, disability payments, anything coming from the government.
No way no pension wala gagnande maden ballal ko be fotima okude do kala ko mo anduda lamu nguno ma okude pour din don.
Mi yoba ka pensions ko salaries mi yobete. Te be pare affaire compensation injuries am dido dum wala no ma gila 1995 be ngokuno kam ujuna chapande na hetati e temende joy e no gas joy.
As of now, I'm receiving my salary. I have not been pensioned, but since we hit on the 1990.
1995.
It was in 1995 that I was compensated. Ujunaji jelu.
Chapande na temende joy no gas joy.
It was $40,525. That's the amount I was compensated for.
And like other torturers, the 9, 7, or whatever number you confirm that you had tortured, contributing to your salary and other payments coming to you from the government. How do you feel about that?
Joni yimbe manuda ametini men ko jedidi wala ko jena kala ko woni joni fi ben don mi anda hono yirda fi mabbe kambe non darde mabbe no woni
ni dum ko nganantama wadi tebe pare min mi dum nimsi.
Well, that as for that what I can say about that is that it's something that has taken place and I really regret what has taken place, what has happened. And I am appealing to them for forgiveness.
Fine. If you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Joni sita hebi kongol mo anduda afala dum hollirde do walla leydi ndi joni awawa continuade hala dum din halaji.
In komi mido yeta kalambo wana.
I am extending my greetings to everybody.
Pare mido ollega wandena ma aduna koko gasata.
Also, I would like to mention that everything has an end, especially in this world. And every person, when you die, you go along with your deeds. You don't go with anything else. And the accusations alleged on me, yes, I agreed to them. And also, as far as I was the head of the team, my juniors, whatever wrongs they committed, I take responsibility for it. These are the things that I said happened. And as for the lady who was mentioned, really, truly, I touched her with my hands.
Yeah, because me do money what you first put what I make so one day or nange.
And I made it a force so that she will be caught. But as for the others, it is not that I personally hit them. And if it has been done by my genius, especially in my presence, I take the responsibility. And I am appealing for forgiveness for those things, and I really regret those things. And I'm appealing to them to forgive me on those things. But for Silaba Samate, Jesus, Jibril Waka, I will never forgive them. Because the accusations they leveled against me were all false. And all that they said about me, I take it and I place it before Allah. And I'm appealing to anybody, people who like me and who like them too. And let them all pray so that Allah will decide Allah will judge between me and them. Because they come to me serious. Because they leveled serious accusations against me. And it is not true. Allah knows that it is not true, and they themselves know that it is not true. And the others who accused me, those I personally hit and those I didn't hit, as for them, I'm appealing to them to forgive me.
Because at the end of
yes, this is what I can say, because I know that there is a day when everybody will go to the hereafter. And at that time, everybody will face your deeds.
So, you know me how?
This is what I wanted to say. I'm thanking everybody. And I'm still appealing to these people to forgive me. Yes.
I hope there wouldn't be any torturers in the akhirah. We see what happens. We thank you very much indeed, Mr. Cham, for coming to...
Mr. Cham, Ajabipur Aragoldo, Oka Sede Agalma.
Mr. Chair. And there wouldn't be any, there wasn't any parang here at TRRC. But we thank you again for coming to testify before the Commission.
There were no scuffles and torturing at the TRRC here. Thanks for coming anyway.
Thank you.
We have a
thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Chair, I need to put in the exhibits.
Yes.
The first one should be Exhibit 189. That is the report on the investigation into the shooting incident which resulted in the death of Mr. Deda Haidara, editor-in-chief and co-proprietor of the Point newspaper. It's a report dated 29 April 2005. That should be Exhibit 189.
189.
And then the report submitted to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. This is a report on additional investigation report into the activities of the former IGP Ensa Baji, dated 7 May 2010, conveyed on the letter dated 13 May 2010. That should be Exhibit 189A. And the response from Jame indicating his dissatisfaction with some of the findings would be Exhibit 189B, and the report on Gambia, the country report on human rights practices for 2001 should be Exhibit 189C.
The author for the last one, is that the State Department?
State Department, U.S. State Department report, yes.
Thank you very much, Council. Your request granted.
Thank you.
And we will take a lunch break and come back at 2:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Love like fire. Wow. Love like fire. Xam ngeen rek affaire bi xam ngeen fan la? Skincare la 2020 lañ wax de. Waaw. Fii nag mooy Kerr fan, Kerr zero tache. Perfect skin. Skincare saa su ne rek niñ ko dee defee rek. Loolu lañ soxlaati rek. Maanaam bu ngeen am problème ci seen skin yéen xam ngeen fan la fii ngeen di ñëw suma xarit yeeg am di jàmm yi nga xam ne taas daf lañ sonaloon xam nga doon xeesal ba la ka xum éneew ma lañ ko nag waaye just in case comme ni ko gars yi di waxee rek en cas just in case loolu xew xam ngeen fi ngeen di ñëw skincare plus si yu baax rek la ñoo dox nag ay baax rek fu ne la ñoo dem ci réew mi di lañ indi rek nag products yu baax du Paris du Italie du USA du fi mu nekk nii sax boole nañ ci nag Sweden fu nekk lañ leen a indilee products bu dee tamit nag da nga ñuul rek ñu lay jamaa natural beauty that melanin dripping we do have stuff for you as well emuñ si skincare products rek ñu ngi ci cuub yi tamit fu ne la ñoo jaar in fact sax last commercial bi ñu defoon waxuñ leen woon dañoo dox ci ay kawar 9A grade rek nag waaw we do have bundles as well hair si lu ne la ñoo dox ñun ñu ngi ci rafetal jigéen rek luy taaral jigéen rek waaw boo leen di tukki tamit bëggoon rek classic suitcase ñu dañoo dox ci ay Samsonite duñ dee indi any brand of suitcases though other than Samsonite comme li ma dee wax rek boo eggee airport dëri Samsonite dafa am nuñ laa xoolee waaw ngeen ne lan nag waaw skin ci moom la ñu gën a xamee nag skin care products ci moom la ñu gën a xamee ñu ngi dox tamit bentee tamit si ay dàlla man waaye man nag skin care mooy suma specialty xam nga rek jigéen bu sa xar kanam réglé loo def mu jag am nañ Patricia Reiner, Kiwi Eye, the whole range, Lighten Up Gold, Tomatine. I mean, the list can just go on and on and on and on. Lépp loo xam ne rek luy taaral jigéen la ci yooyu rek la ñoo dox. Skincare plus nag emuñ si Gambia rek ñu ngi United States ñu ngi Gambia fii ba pare bu dee yaa ngi anywhere in Europe mun nañ la ko mail within 3 days rek ñetti fan rek nga jot say diw emuñ si loolu rek dañ laa consult tamit balaa ñu laa jaay diw dinañ def a free consultation pour wax la rek exactly li nga xam ne moo méngoo ak sa kanam dinañ leen wax tamit ne rek am nañ perfumes, you know, fragrances, men's shirts, accessories. We do dresses as well. We do blouses. I mean, we do shoes. Name it, we do them. Skincare Plus 2020 is our year of perfection. Zero task. Fi mu nekk nii réew mi fii kenn waratu fi task kenn waratu fi am problème kanam kenn waratu fi am problème yu picca boo ko amee dafa fekk ne rek ñëwuloo ci place bi fii. Love, love, love like fire. Bring my love, 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 love like fire.
Miss B Designer Outlet is the #1 quality and affordable stop shop for all your needs. Get your evening dresses, suit and ties, office wears for both ladies and gentlemen, beach wears, sport wears, pure leather shoes for men, quality belts, bags, heels for all beautiful ladies, original perfumes, accessories, and a lot more. Find us at Kololini Road opposite Gaddafi Mosque at the Aqua Preacher Station, or call us on 295-3411 or 764-2486. Miss B Designer Outlet. Shop right, look good.
When we touch down, better broke down.
Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
So she became mine and see that.
Love like fire. Wow. Love like fire. Xam ngeen rek affaire bi xam ngeen fan la? Skincare la. 2020 lañ wax de. Waaw. Fii nag mooy Kerr fan Kerr zero tache. Perfect skin. Skincare saa su ne rek niñ ko dee defee rek. Loo lañ soxlaati rek. Maanaam bu ngeen am problème ci seen skin ngeen xam ngeen fan la fii ngeen di ñëw suma xarit yeeg am di jàmm yi nga xam ne taas daf lañ sonaloon xam nga doon xeesal de laka xum éneew ma lañ ko nag waaye just in case comme ni ko gars yi di waxee rek en cas just in case loolu xew xam ngeen fi ngeen di ñëw skincare plus si baax rek la ñoo dox nag ay baax rek fu ne la ñoo dem ci réew mi di lañ indi rek nag products yu baax du Paris du Italie du USA du fi